on the 14th and 15th of October of 2019 for the 7th summit of the Turkish Council. Shortly, we will be traveling to Baku to attend this important event. Our ministers and representatives from different organizations will accompany me during this visit. And right after we arrive in Baku, I will get together with my dear brother, President of Azerbaijan, President Aliyev, and then DEIK is going to be hosting us at a special event, and we will have the opportunity to get together with business people living abroad in that event. Esteemed members of the press, the 7th summit of the Turkish Council, from many different dimensions, will be a historic event. This summit, first of all, is going to focus on Turkey, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan relations. On the 3rd of October 2019, as you know, the Nahchivan Agreement was signed, and the Turkish Council was thus founded, and we will be celebrating the 10th anniversary of that, and Uzbekistan will also become a full member to this organization. As such, our council will add to its strength. In September in Budapest, we opened up the European chapter of our organization, and that also has added to our strength. And in line with our suggestion and in line with the acceptance of other member states, the founding president of Kazakhstan, Nazarbayev, received the honorary title for the council, and we will present him with this title at this event. Now, as such, we will be benefiting from the vast experience of our wise peer, and we hope that the solidarity within the Turkic world will improve day by day, and hopefully our cooperation will also appreciate as a result, and that is something that makes us very proud as well. Heads of states that will participate at the summit, we will have the opportunity to sit down with them. We will discuss our bilateral relations as well as the endeavors of our council. Taking this opportunity, we will have the chance to inform in detail our counterparts about the Peace of Spring operation, and hopefully this event will help us achieve an acceleration in our relations with our counterparts in the region. CNN Turk, Zeynep Karamuslu. The Syrian army are looking at Tel Abyad, and that they will be cooperating with PYD, YPG, and that they are now in an agreement. What would you like to say about that? Have you talked to Russia about this, and how is this going to have an impact on the Peace Spring operation? Now, dear friends, there's so much gossip, but especially through the embassy, and also in addition to that, in Kobani, Russia is also exhibiting a positive attitude. I don't think there will be problems. Regarding Manbij, right now, we have made our decision, and right now we are executing that decision. As you know, with the United States of America regarding Manbij, we've had an agreement, and within 90 days, as a result of this agreement, terrorist organizations were to evacuate Manbij, but it's been a year and Manbij is still populated by them. When Manbij is evacuated, we're not going to go into Manbij as Turkey. The real dwellers, our Arabic brothers and sisters, the true owners of that land, the tribe who we've met, they will go into that region. And our attitude towards this topic is very clear. We want them to go into that region, and we want to ensure their safety. Nur Güldoğan, TRT News. Yesterday, Mark Esper, Secretary of Defense, made an announcement from the north of Syria. The U.S. troops will be withdrawn. What would you like to say about this? Thank you. I think this is a positive step. Um, right now, this step is very much relevant, and it looks as if the troops will withdraw. Mehmet Karataş is my name. From A News, the Turkish troops are in the region and not even one civilian is harmed. I mean, our troops are working quite hard for that. But in the region, when you look at the members of the foreign media outlets, they have a different stance, different take on this. Some people are saying that civilians are being harmed. And yesterday, some said that mortar fires are being shot, and there's all these different sorts of allegations. What would you like to say about this manipulation of the foreign media in the region? Dear friends, I do believe that these manipulations um, um, are seen by me the way you see them. That is to say, we're talking about more than 600 mortar shells that have been fired into Turkish territory, and they're turning a blind eye to this, and this begs an explanation. But this is not the first time. They have always acted this way. This has been their tactic for so long. And right now, both inside and outside Turkey, they are executing the same tactics. But you cannot you cannot conceal the truth. Right now, we have some martyrs, some fallen soldiers, and because of the mortar fire, unfortunately, some of our people have been wounded, some people have evacuated their homes, and there are so many people, so many of our citizens fleeing where they live because of this mortar fire. No matter how much they're engaged in these manipulations, they will not be able to conceal this truth, and our people sees this as well, and through our media outlets, we will do our best to share this with the rest of the world. They are exhibiting their skills and their skills of deceit, but we will continue to tell what is right and speak the truth, and these things will not cause us to give up. From Sabah Daily, Zeynel Yılmaz is my name. In line with the previous question, in the international arena or in certain countries, we've had some backlash in the last couple of years, and then there have been some contradictory announcements um, in different parts of the world that we see some internal criticism popping up. Do you believe that as days go by, this criticism will subside regarding the Arab League or in Europe as well, in the West as well? Some people are not agreeing with the government line on Turkey's operation, and some people are saying that Turkey is justified in this peace spring operation. Do you think that the weather will change? Yes, I do believe that we will see a sea change in terms of this, because you can only lie so much until a certain point, and truth will always triumph. Um, and people are seeing what's happening in the region. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to talk to Chancellor Merkel, and the day before, I had the opportunity to talk to UK Prime Minister, Mr. Boris Johnson, and in these talks, I had the opportunity to tell them what's going on in the region, and I sadly realized that they're not aware of what's going on in the region, and that they are being bombarded by disinformation. And I took the opportunity to explain to them what was going on in the region. I said to them, if you're genuine about this, you're within the coalition powers, and actually we are a part of that coalition as well. And within the coalition powers, are you in pursuit of truth? I asked, because I mean, they are trying to conceal something, which is this. Dear friends, we are a NATO member, we're an ally, NATO ally. All of these countries are actually NATO member states. And there's the Article 5 of NATO. Right now, we are being threatened by a terrorist organization. We are being attacked by them, and the fifth article says that all the other NATO member states need to side with us. So, on the one hand, uh, you know, they are NATO members, but are they going to side with another NATO member, or are they going to side with the other party, namely the terrorists? When you ask them this question, they cannot answer it. And also the things that they do, the explanation for the things that they do, again, this begs an explanation. And sometimes one wonders, being within all the NATO members, we are the only Muslim nation, and one wonders whether that is the reason, because this is what one wonders after a certain point. We know what these terrorists are like and what they're engaged in, and these NATO members are supposed to fight against terrorism as per Article 5. They're not taking an active stance. And the Secretary General of NATO, as you know, visited us, and we had the opportunity to talk to him, and he also talked to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and we had really fruitful talks with him, and his stance, the Secretary General's stance, is unequivocal, but some of the NATO member states unfortunately exhibit a different attitude. When you talk to them, for instance, with Prime Minister Boris Johnson, when I explained him what was what, he asked me how he could potentially help us. We will stand up tall, we will stand united, and right now, especially regarding terror and terrorism, as you know, we have no problems with the Kurds in the region. We do not want to fight them. We are a state, and we are faced with a terrorist organization, no less. And you do not engage in a war with a terrorist organization. Wars take place between states, and this is something that we're really sensitive about. That's how we should keep this engagement onwards. Ain al Arab, Munbij, these are still unfolding, these latest developments, and with United States of America, with Russia, also we're in talks. Our colleagues, the Minister of Defense and National Intelligence Agency, they're also in talks with their counterparts, and we will maintain this process with decisiveness. You're publishing the numbers as well, I believe. Right now, we have inactivated 500 terrorists and 500 deaths and 26 wounded and 24 captured. And this struggle will continue with decisiveness. Thank you very much. Now, inshallah, today and tomorrow we will continue this program, and tomorrow evening we will get back to Turkey. Thank you very much indeed.